What's up, everybody? It is Tim, and we are back on the late afternoon show. We're just going to let that music play out as we have our guests and our attendees, our folks joining us live, coming to the party. It is about to be a vibe today. Let's go. Hey. If you are joining us for the first time on the late afternoon show, let us know where you are joining us from. Put your city, your state, your country, put it in the chat. Let us know. We are live on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And if you don't catch us live, leave us a comment and we can check you out on the rebroadcast and put a 2 to show you're watching us on the rebroadcast. But let us know you're joining us live today. We're about to get into our chat with Martin Ekechwuku. Y'all ain't ready for this. On the same frequency. Hey. Vibrations. Woo! Come on, y'all. Hey, 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 hey. Guys, if you don't know what to do when you hear this vibe, just follow me. Check this out. Just like that. Let's go, let's go. Electric magnetism in the air. Out of nowhere. Because what? On the same frequency. Tag your friends, tag your people, let them know, send them the invite. There's a little airplane to share it, to invite them. If you're thinking about branding, if you're thinking about marketing, if you're thinking about expanding yourself, influencing, and really growing innovative ways to revive something that's dead or dying, you guys want to be on the show today because we have an industry buff with us today. Come on, check this out. Let's go. You always got to wait for that last. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's a late afternoon show. I am your host, Tim Olar. We are super excited to have you on another Tuesday edition of this Good Vibe session. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. We are well into summer up here in Sacramento. It's cooled down a little bit. It was in the hundreds last week. I don't know what the weather is like across the country, but you know it is summer. You guys can't see my grass right now. We water it like twice a day, but it is brown and you know that the sun is scorching it. So we got to get some more water. We got to get to the beach. We got to enjoy this time. June 15th, at least for California, is when they're saying that things are opening up. And folks are going to be out and about. So I don't know what that looks like from where you're at, but make sure that you enjoy this summer safely, stay cool, have some fun. But today we have a really, really interesting guest today. We chatted last year. We chatted over Instagram. I've been following his stuff on Instagram. He has been involved in some of the most influential campaigns. He's worked with some of the biggest influencers of our time, and really helping them think about how to rebrand and re-strategize and really connect with their markets in a very meaningful way. He's won awards for it, so it's not like all his work is gone unrecognized. Like we said in the promo, he's worked with Snoop, he's worked with Diddy, he's worked with Janet, he's worked with brands, he's worked with Burger King, he's worked with the biggest people in the business, and he is joining us here today to talk a little bit about his experience and some of his approaches to branding and strategy and influence and things like that. So we don't want to keep you guys waiting. We are super excited. Let me get my applause so that folks know that we got a beast in the house. Where is it? There it goes. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's see if we have a
Hilarious.
Thank you, studio audience. We really appreciate your excitement. Martin, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. That applause is amazing. It's so good. I felt like I was like really back in the whole, swing of things with
the whole thing, man. Like if we had you, like my original idea was that we would have the whole vibe where folks come out like they're dancing on Ellen, like have the music playing and folks come through, but we had to do it virtual and make the best of what we got.
All good, mate. I have no problems with it. We got to adapt in the moment.
We got to adapt. That is the name of the game, man. How was your day today? How was your Tuesday today?
Tuesday was wild. I came in on the red eye from Los Angeles, landed at 8, missed my kids going to school, and then immediately jumped in the shower and started going. My wife and I, we got some coffee just down the street right before we got started to have a little bit one-on-one time, and then boom, ran right into it. And I've been on calls, Zooms, meetings, and dinner reservations for the children, and back and forth. And I'm going until 9, at least till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm behind on a lot of work. So,
man, you said you just recently moved.
Yeah. I just moved from I moved from Florida to New Jersey, and then from New Jersey, I just moved on Memorial Day weekend into Manhattan. So I'm a Manhattan. Our family's Manhattan.
You are New Yorker now. How long do you have to be in New York to be considered a New Yorker, man?
Man, it's all about the experience that you go under, dude. It's like the stress and the strife and everything you have to go through to get into the city.
There you go.
And you actually got an address.
Yeah.
You have to deal with the stresses of being in the city. That's immediately when you become a New Yorker. That's like
yeah.
It's like the dude on the corner. I'm in Harlem. I'm like in South Harlem. The dude on the corner shows up and basically is like, boom, boom, like a night. Boom. It's like,
so he knights your New Yorker, like, yo, when you start getting like 2 or 3 wrinkles and crow's eye, like crows, all of that stuff, like, yeah, you're here.
Man, it took us 2 days to move into our spot in South Harlem. Two full days. They didn't finish till 5 o'clock in the morning on the second day. And I think we left. I forget. I had to go somewhere immediately after that. I couldn't even. I think I slept in this place like one day in the last week.
Yeah.
And then because of the stress from moving and everything in, I was walking down. And I swear someone was like, I swear someone did that to me.
That's what. Yeah. Even if they didn't, it was done in spirit. It was done like you are understanding what it means to be in New York. It's so fun. I did sales for a long time when I was living in Colorado, and we would do inbound sales, outbound sales, but it's mostly on the phone. And normally when I'm doing sales, like the first little bit of it, like you build rapport. You're like, how you doing? Talk a little bit about the family context, kids, and things like that. Anytime I would call into the East Coast, call into Jersey, call into New York, they didn't want none of that. They don't want they're like, get straight to them. Like, what do you want? Like, there's so much stress. There's so much stuff going on. Just get to the business. None of all this rapport stuff.
No, it's like, well, the rapport is good.
Yeah.
But I've learned myself, even when in my spot, I'm like, yo, man, just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you want. Let's just go ahead and get the nitty gritty so I can either tell you yes, no, maybe, and I can keep it moving.
Yeah, we can build rapport afterwards.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to what I was doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, tell me what's up.
That's good. That's good, man. Again, I'm super excited to connect with you. A lot of impressive work that you've done. A lot of innovative stuff just for the culture, man. And we've been looking at. I mean, the last year it has really shown a spotlight on Black culture. not in the most positive light, just given like the violence and the injustices and things like that. But a light has been shed nonetheless. And I want to ask you, because a lot of what you're doing is really about influence and culture and really lifting up those voices. How has the last year affected you and your business and your approach to the work that you do?
I mean, listen, it was actually incredibly impactful. After the murder of George Floyd, in the middle of Black Lives Matter, in the middle of COVID, we kind of doubled down on culture in a real big way, because we told ourselves, if there's a time to celebrate being Black, it was absolutely 2020. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, unabashedly Black, everything Black. And so for us, within what we do, we leaned in double time. We went to brands and started talking to them about how to communicate with people of color. We went to advertisers and say how to tell stories to people of color. Yeah. And we had probably our best year we've ever had in the history of our business, and then from that I was able to leverage it into working with some exceptional other talent-led brands on developing their story and helping to grow that business. Yeah. And I'm partnering with some other people to kind of get there. So it was like, it was a tragedy. Where I look at it is that, man, we were owed. We've been owed.
It's high time. It's high time.
Yeah. So like, all these people coming to me and like, man, you should have been here 5 years ago. I'm gonna charge you double, just for pure posterity.
Yeah. All the interest has been accrued over the last time since we should have been had that.
Yeah, I should charge you triple, but I'm not stupid.
Because I like you. That's because I like you. We'll give you a deal.
Like, LA, that's on the because I like you. I like you.
Yeah, that's what we do. We were joking about. So you're Nigerian. So which part of your family is from? Is it your mom, your dad, both of them?
My father. I was born there. I was born in Enugu. Lived 10, 11 years of my life there. Moved to the States when I was an early teenager. But my mother's Czech, so I spent a lot of time in Nigeria and Czech Republic. Okay. And landed in the States. So I've got kind of a 3-continent experience when I was and even beyond that as well. So, so I still remember being in the village in Amuzi, and I grew up in Mbise, just outside of Enugu, outside of Owerri, rather. Yeah. Okay. Mbise Ahiazu is actually specifically where it is. We got a compound, we got the house. My father is specifically one of 13, so he really spent a lot of time, putting a lot of money into our village and getting a place that we can always call home. Yeah. Because while he moved our entire family unit to the U.S., he always wanted us to have a place that we can call home, that no matter what, things go left, man, get a ticket, go back to Nigeria. That's
wisdom. That's wisdom, to be able to have a plan B, an escape route, it's
not
alternative
route. That's not the best. This is like, everything else has gone wrong.
This is the last resort. Like this is
like, man, FBI is about to knock down your door. You lost all your money, but like $3,000 for a ticket. Yeah. You got no other choice. All your friends that told you got nothing. Everyone's like literally like cut you off. Yeah. And you'll be like, Chilaka, come home. Come on. Come home.
Oh yeah. Come.
Oh yeah, come.
Yeah. Exactly. Man. So, but I mean, I think that's cool though. Coming from, I feel, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that folks that are immigrants or come from, so I come from Nigeria as well. I feel like my experience was a little different, right? It's like, I'm coming from Africa. My ancestors weren't like necessarily like slaves or what have you, but I still identify and still understand like, what the struggle is. Do you feel a difference like being an African in America versus like an African American, and how does that like inform your view on Black culture and things like that?
That's wild, man. We have that conversation quite a bit because of where we live. in the United States,
Yeah.
Black culture has been, basically put on you, even though you may not be African American.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong with that, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I made a very clear point in my 30s to not try to create differentiation between African and African American as the Black diaspora, the African diaspora, because we're pretty much all going through the same struggle. And the challenge always becomes, once you start creating separation between Black people, you just create just another separation with Black people, which is not good. So, but to learn about Black culture, I had to, be immersed in Black culture, because I was seen as an African American, so I had to learn about Black culture while also keeping my African roots and heritage still real. Right? So that was probably the biggest struggle, was being able to understand that part of it. But I did that when I was really young. And it was just understanding that there's a tragic history with African Americans in the United States, and as a result, you have to also do your part to help break down boundaries and barriers. So even what we do in my agency and in the new company I'm working with now, we hire Black first. We hire people of color for sure, but we hire Black first. Women, we bring in quite a bit. Because no matter how I view myself as being African, you still got to help out. You still got to reach out.
Yeah, exactly. You're still part of it, and there's still work and contribution that can be made, in that experience. You talked about this a little bit before, and I wondered if you're okay giving a little bit of free advice, if you would. You talked about when you consult with organizations or brands or influencers or talent or whatever, and say, hey, this is how you talk to people of color, or this is how you talk to Black communities. Is there one or two things, like themes around how companies and brands should think about talking or communicating to people of color or to Black audiences?
I mean, listen, our approach is that Black people are not monolithic, because it is a diaspora. And so identifying personality traits, character traits, demographics, I mean, all those sort of things, kind of how we approach it. And so when we talk about communicating to people of color, we look at passion points versus anything else. We don't look at like traditional sort of data set. We look at passion points. It's sports, it's music, it's athletics, it's tech, it's whatever. And we look at people of color in those particular passion points, and then we speak to them in that particular way. So when brands come to us, they want to figure out, how do we get people, and using this example, how do we get people to buy more potato chips? Okay. You can get them to buy more potato chips by you leveraging within the strategy you already have, by leveraging a musical component to bring people on board. So really latch onto the brand, attach passionately to the brand by using your favorite influencer, use your musical influencer to help bridge that gap. What we always talk about quite a bit within what works with the agency is that we leverage culture to connect and really fill in the gap between brands and the audiences. And culture for us could be defined as pop culture, music culture, Black culture, whatever culture. We find that passionate unit in between and bridge that gap to get from one to the other. And that's really been kind of our calling card.
And do you find that when you interact with brands in this way, do you find like it's like completely new to them? Like, oh my gosh, like we would have never thought of that. Or is it like, how could we have missed that? It's so common sense type of thing. Like what are the typical reactions when you bring this type of approach?
First reaction is, are we going to alienate our white consumers? That's the first reaction. And that's probably the worst possible thing you could possibly say. Like, are we going to alienate the white people?
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is that there's a lot of money in Black people. Yeah. Right. Yes. Don't be scared about having
You'll be fine. You'll be good.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Now, for example, one of the brands I speak on this quite a bit, in all honesty. One of the brands that I was really proud of was actually Cadillac. Cadillac made a statement that said, Black people have driven the Cadillac culture. Period. Thank you, Black people. Literally, they were like, thank you, Black people, for driving Cadillac forward.
Wow.
And by saying that, they drew a line in the sand that said, we don't care about the backlash because we know who's really buying our product. Really kind of going after it.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the entire executive leadership team be like, no, you're going to white folks are going to get mad. They're going to riot. They're going to do this.
Yeah.
What's interesting, I did a study with an unnamed brand on their response as a result of their support of Black Lives Matter, the support of whatever the particular topic was. Actually escapes me now what it was.
Yeah.
We did a study, and they found that total loss of business. They lost 150 people. That's it that they lost. And they gained like thousands, but they lost people like literally like burning their shoes, burning this and burning whatever it was. It wasn't a shoe company. I'm just saying.
150 people.
100 in total. 150 people were like, I think it was like subscription service of some sort.
Yeah.
That came out and it said, hey, guess what? We probably should stop killing Black people just because.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, wild statement. Maybe don't kill people as often as you should, as you are. You know, maybe take it down to like 1% or like half of 1%. Like take it down to like the people that are trying to kill you. How about this? Kill people that kill you. Not just because. It's like literally was their statement. Kill people if they're trying to kill you, not just because they're Black.
And people were like, what? 150 like, what? No.
What? We should be able to kill Black people all the time.
I should be.
What? You know, so that's what I'm saying. And they lost 150 people. That was all they lost.
Wow.
So it's like it's completely overdone, and Black folks were like, "Let's go,
let's do this."
Huh?
Yeah, no, and it's very affirming. I mean, just going back to your Cadillac example of the empowerment, the affirmation, the recognition when a brand is able to see and state and be bold about, like, "Hey, thank you for driving this." Like there's another level, there's like a sense of, oh, like we already liked Cadillac with or without them saying thank you, but there's that next level. I'll give you I actually had an example. I was out traveling somewhere and I rented a car, and they upgraded me and they put me in a Cadillac. Now this is my first time. Like I've had back in the day, I had like a Seville, like I was a teenager, but this was my first time like in a new, it was one of like the little crossover cars. And like I got in it and I felt like this feels right. Like this, this feels like my car. And I don't know what it was, but there was just that sense of appreciation, ownership, like all those different things. Like I would buy this. Like I would definitely purchase this for myself. But I want to do something. We're going to do a quick little segue, and then we got like 2 more questions to wrap up our session. We like to do something fun. Sometimes we play a game. We ask random questions just to kind of break up the segment a little bit. The question I want to ask you is, if you were to think in the last week, couple weeks, month, whatever the most recent memory, what was the last thing that made you laugh until your stomach hurt?
Last thing that made me laugh until my stomach hurt. Man, that's a hilarious question, because in my family we laugh all the time.
Your stomach hurts all the time, like
about the silliest things all the time. So actually, so today, something actually made me really crack up. So we just moved to the city, as I mentioned, and our kids go to Spence and St. David, just basically down the street. Yeah, but we've never really, they can walk. They can walk from there. It's 20 blocks. They can walk from school straight here. Yeah, and torrential downpour just started in the middle of the day, right? And then while one of them, the boy, was walking home. Yeah. And I was like calling him, like, hey, listen, it's raining, find shelter. Like, listen, there's cover, find whatever, just find a spot and just wait it out. Couldn't reach him. And next thing you know, I hear the door open. I go downstairs. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he looks like a wet dog. Just there in front of me. Backpack, shoes, shirt, hair, all of it, just wet dog. And I'm like, look at him like, you couldn't find shelter? You couldn't find like a cover?
Not one shade.
I was like, yo, man. He said, I just wanted to get home. I was like, what? He's 13 years old. I was like, was like, what? It's like, I don't want to get home. He's standing there. Literally, he's got like this
drenched.
His hair is like all the way over his face. Pants, shirt, jacket, Air Force Ones, done. I was looking at him like, I didn't want to get home. I was like, strip right there. Don't come inside the house unless you are absolutely down to your underwear. Put on a towel and then go upstairs to take a shower. This is crazy. I was like crying. That was like,
would your daughters, would they have done that? Would they have found shelter? Or would they would have walked?
Like literally, if they had felt like a drip, they didn't like found like shelter. Like, oh, my hair. It's like, yeah,
I'll come home tomorrow. It's fine. It's raining. Like, we'll be fine.
Like, can you call us an Uber? Literally, call me an Uber from the spot.
Oh man, the boy was like, "Nah, I've already taken a shower. What are you talking about, Dad? Can't you see?
It's like, what are you doing?" and I swear, and I'm going to talk to him a bit. I swear he's going to be like, "Oh, I already showered in the street." I mean, that's what he's going to say. I've already showered in the street. I'm like, "Yo, man."
That's that natural rain. I'm just letting God do what He do. Like just
God cleanse me.
God out there, there's a showers of blessing. Showers of blessing. Don't reject your blessing, oh boy. But no, I appreciate you sharing that. That is, I'm always looking for hope at the end of the tunnel for my little kids. Like, man, are they ever going to grow out of this mischief or just silliness? And it was like, nah, it just comes in more complex forms.
A whole bigger thing, to be honest.
But dude, so I've listened to some of your podcasts and some of the appearances that you've been on, and one of the things that I personally value for myself is relationships and building networks. I am mad intentional about connecting with people and seeing how, even if it's not mutual value add, like how can I add value to you? We don't know what's going to happen, but just building those networks and relationships. And in one of the episodes that you appeared in, when somebody had asked you about your approach to, innovation and like, okay, how do you think of a campaign or strategy or what have you? And you talked about it really is on the team. Like when you think about ideation, that you have a wealth of knowledge on the team, from copywriters to movie veterans to music folks. And you just have this, army, this arsenal of people. My question to you, Martin, is how do you go about creating and maintaining those types of relationships?
Poorly sometimes, really poorly. No, listen, I've been really fortunate in the fact that I've been able to amass an amount of people that really believe in me.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that really, is a differentiating factor for some folks. Like if you can't get folks to believe in you, believe in what you do, that makes it difficult for you to come and ask people to work for you, work with you.
Yeah.
Do stuff. So my arsenal really comes in the fact that I nurtured the relationships that I felt were both enriching personally and professionally. And I really made, and listen, years ago, I probably couldn't have meant that statement, to be honest. 5 years, I probably could not have made that statement. But older and wiser, I spend time with people that value me. Yeah. And I value, and where we can build professionally and personally together. And maybe it's not about making money, but maybe it's a nonprofit. Maybe it's something that we can do to help the community or whatever. Yeah. But to steal your phrase, it has to be meaningful, right? There's a lot of that comes from me. So when I look at relationships, I really look at it holistically. Because frankly, I don't have time. I've got 4 jobs. I've got 4 jobs. Doesn't even get to my family yet, right?
Yeah.
4 jobs that I have to be responsible for before I get to my family.
Yeah.
And then I get to my friends, who I try to actually like create a family and friend group where everyone works together.
Yeah.
And then I have like personal interests that I kind of go after.
Yeah.
So I was like, I try to look at it in those buckets. But years ago, from a relationship standpoint, I would have been caught up in always giving, and I'm a giving person. I give first. And my mentor, name is Owen May. He's a senior guy from my business school. Amazing person. I should owe him a phone call. But he always said, give first. If you give first, you'll reap the rewards in the end.
Yeah.
But I think there's like a second step for that. It's like, give first because it's in your heart to give. Don't give first because you're expecting something in return long term, right? So there's a little bit of a nuance to that, because if you give first because you expect a return, you will never be fulfilled ever, right? If you give first because like it's in your heart to do something, you'll then be choiceful on what you're wanting to do.
Yes.
I'm choosing to help this person because he really needs it, and there's no one else that can really do it. Not because I'm trying to fix anything. It's like he really needs it, as opposed to like I'm gonna help all these people because you never know. Because the thing is, in entrepreneurship, the problem that you're gonna find is that your attention goes here.
Yep.
You're looking for that thing that has a spark, shiny crystal ballish, and you're like, oh, let me chase this. I'm like, let me chase that. Let me chase this.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Narrowing it down to the thing you really want to do, focusing on that, keeping it within that circle, that helps you then make clear choices.
Yeah.
So I run my agency. I run part of a holding company that creates products for those that need it the most. It's called Ekechwuku. And they're developing talent-led products that are for people of color, specifically people of color, and only for people of color, because of public health needs. So we launched the Naomi Osaka line, which is a sun care, everyday skincare line. That focuses on the fact that people of color are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with cancer later in life and die from it, because we believe that Black does not crack, which is a massive educational gap. So we also, and then here in front of us, being people of color, blue lights from our computer, from indoors during the pandemic, incidence of cancer and skin cancer has started to increase, right? So, and Black people just are not aware of that issue. It's a public health need. Also working on a baby care line, because children of color, from 2015, 50.2% of children are now of color that have been born in the earth. That's like the first time it's ever tipped over. It's like if you're a child, if you're born from 2015 on, you are half of these children or more are of color.
Wow.
Black, brown, yellow, Asian, whatever it is.
Wow.
But there are no products that exist in the marketplace that really delivers on their needs. We have no skin, and nothing's really created for them. So another public health need, right? So to me, that's my other passion point, which is create things for people of color because it's needed in the marketplace. And with what works is tell stories about people of color in a new and unique way, right? Use Black people, people of color, brown people, Asian people to tell stories, to be able to change the perception of how others think of Black people, brown people.
Yes.
Right. So that's where I spend the majority of my time, is those two places, which fulfills me.
Dude, that is preaching. Dun-dun. I mean, you're attacking it from both ends, right? Where it's like, okay, let's tell the story, communicate it, but then also bring in the products to address and to help. And then even from the connectivity approach and the relationship building approach, which is where we kind of started off, also attacking it from both ends of your personal fulfillment, professional fulfillment, but at the same time giving and really helping because this is a need, right? Not necessarily because like this is something that I want reciprocated or I'm expecting something back, but there is a need, and you can see in those products, like in the people of color skincare products, in what works, like these are things that are helping, fulfilling a need, educating, probably a lot of educating. I mean, you're educating the brands on what culture is, what those passion points are, And then you're educating the market, the Black people, people of color, of this is a risk. You didn't even know that this was a problem.
Yeah.
And we are not only telling you about the problem, but we're also offering you the solutions. Like those are such service-based, education-based services, and like it's just.
But I'm going to one up you though.
Emotional.
I'm going to one up you because, and one thing I didn't talk about was within A-Frame is our mission is not actually to make money. We will make money, we'll be profitable, but that's not our mission. Our mission is to be the change that we wish to see in other people. So our foundation is to tell the story of diversity within the corporate America. You go into a corporate boardroom, it's not white folks. It's all white folks.
Yeah.
Right? A few layers down, more diversity, but the top layer, there's no diversity.
Yeah.
So we're telling the story of doing that. We're making core decisions that says if you're a vendor, partner, investor, whatever, if you don't have a person of color or a woman as your leader, a leadership role, we're not taking your money. We're not working with you. We're not doing a partnership. Like literally, we're making clear decisions because
the whole supply chain
and the talent that we're working with are supportive. They're like, we agree with this because they want to see this change.
Yeah.
Because the way that things have been done all along is wrong. That's just like tradition, 75-year-old, 100-year-old business practices.
Yeah.
You can do it differently. You can actually hire diversely today with people in the right way. You know what I mean? And really build an incredible team. And you can also say, we want to actually help change other companies. We go into other companies that we're working with, like partners that want to work with us, we say, we like you, but you're not diverse enough. Let me help you get diverse. So I'm actually internally consulting with brands that we're working with and vendors and saying, we're going to help you be more diverse. We will actually consult with you and fill in the gaps so that we can help you be more of this. We got a creative team, exceptional creative team, but they are lacking of diversity. Yeah. So, okay, you know what? We will be your internal creative team to help you bridge this gap.
Yeah.
And so it's like, because you can't have other people tell Black stories and brown stories and yellow stories. You can't.
Yeah.
So thanks, man.
Yo, dude, that is, and I think folks are recognizing that approach, that missional, that helping and supportive consulting type of role. The industry is recognizing. You were named one of Forbes' next 1,000. How did that feel? Like, first of all, how did you get the news? How did you feel? Did you know it was coming? Was it a surprise? What was that like for you?
It was a complete surprise. I mean, I saw it on my email. I was like, oh. Okay. I mean, it's like 12, 25 at the meetings. I was like,
nice.
No. Listen, I do not do any. I do what I do for two things.
Yeah.
You know, personal satisfaction because I just love what I do.
Yeah.
I do it because, I mean, listen, you're an immigrant. I'm assuming you're an immigrant. Your family's
yeah. Yeah.
I'm fresh off the boat immigrant from 1989. So so to me, generational wealth in the United States is something that's really important to me.
Yeah.
So everything I do has that tie to it, building generational wealth and teaching others how to have generational wealth as well. Yeah. You know, it's that piece that's missing, I think. You know, from if you look at the 1960s, 1950s with the New Deal, from I forget what actually president, I think it was actually Eisenhower, Roosevelt, where a bunch of money was given to a bunch of white people to be able to go and buy homes. Yeah. And that moment in time, that pivot in time created 3 generations of wealth as a result of it. You know, and the ability to redistrict, the ability to get into better schools, the ability to have better resources. And you know, if I bought a home in 1945 and I sold in 1960 for $300,000, I put $100,000 towards a new business, take the $200,000 to buy a house. Boom, I got $100,000 new business starting off to do this. And then all of a sudden my kids start work, I grow it. Now I've got a $10 million company. Yeah. And it just basically rolls and continues.
Yep.
We're hundreds of years behind.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's what's the biggest challenge for me when I hear arguments from other people. Like, yo, man, we're hundreds of years behind. It's like, if you talk about why can we not do this and why can we not do that as people of color, it's like, we're hundreds of years behind.
When you talk about a head start, like it's not just a couple steps. Like,
we're like 300 years behind on anything related. We're trying to play catch up every single day, but you know, as a people, we're 300 years behind. We don't have generational wealth that everybody else had. So it's like, one of those things, man. So for me, every decision I make, everything that I'm doing is like, I'm creating something to give to these freaking 5 kids.
Yeah, that's just the soaking wet at the door.
Oh. No, he's getting half. He's getting half. I'm done. He's getting half.
Yo, last question for you, Martin. So I've been over the last year or so really trying to build content and definitions and applications around the idea of meaningful work. For myself, you mentioned something that really resonated with me, where you say, like, as entrepreneurs, like it's like the next shiny ball. Like what is that thing? And I found myself doing that, and at the cost of time and focus, especially with my wife and the family and things like that. And I just wanted to understand, it's like, dude, what is meaningful to me? Like, why am I always like searching? Like, what am I searching for? And so I just took on the moniker of Mr. Meaningful Work so that I can have that accountability of, I am going to search for what is meaningful work? How do I apply it for myself? And then how do other folks apply it as well? So in the last year or so, I've been talking with different folks, experts, gurus like you, and asking them the same question of, how would you define meaningful work, and how do you see yourself applying it to the work that you do?
Oh man. Meaningful work for me is being able to work on something that's really bigger than myself. That's really what it boils down to. Because I believe, so my wife and I have a rule, and this answers your question a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife and I have a rule, is that a lot of times in relationships, we do all the things for the children, right?
Yeah.
Go in, what are the kids doing? What are they scheduling? What are this? What are that? What are that? It's like literally the entire day is a conversation about the kids.
Yep.
But our rule is we talk about each other to each other all the time. We go on dates, we go out, we travel together, we have fun. It's like we focus on us because we made a decision.
Yeah.
That if we are solid, the kids will be solid.
Yeah.
Because we will be both on the same page about how to take care of the kids because we are solid.
Yes.
So it's the same thing, right? By being able to find something that fulfills you, even though you may not necessarily make a lot of money today, the thing that you fulfill inside of yourself with the work that you're doing is going to pay dividends. It just won't. Because I'll tell you right now, 8 years ago when I started What Works, we're not doing what we did 8 years ago. We are like 180 from 8 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But we turned it into focusing on doing X instead of really focusing on changing the way people see Black people in media. Tell those stories, find partners that can help us tell those stories. And from that was our platform. We didn't make a lot of money for a long time because it just took time of having to constantly tap that button and remind them of what we do. Yeah. And then finally it was like, we get it.
Nice.
We get it. It's like almost like in marketing. You have to see something 8 times, 12 times or whatever like that before you actually understand it and get it and figure it out. Yeah. Same for us. So really meaningful work is like, you got to really figure out the thing that really, that you wake up every day, you're like, yo, let's go. Like I wake up in the morning like, yo, let's go. Like every morning I'm like, yo, let's go.
That's what's up.
When I get up in the morning, I'm like, yo, okay, let's go. I mean, I guess, sure. I mean, that's literally
it. That's it.
I'm on the other side of it. It's like, yo, let's go. Like I was in LA. Imagine this. Wednesday, I flew to LA on Tuesday night, had meetings all day Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday night, I was on a red eye to Atlanta. I was gone for the weekend. And then Sunday, I left from Atlanta back to New York, red eye to Los Angeles. Monday, all day meetings on Monday, red eye on Monday to come back on Tuesday. It's like, but I'm like, still, yo, let's go.
Somebody who's listening to that and they're like they're red, their eyes are literally turning red, just like listening to like all that travel. Like, whoa. But you're still passionate about it. It's still fulfilling you. And like you said at the top of the answer of that question, that it's bigger than yourself. Like it's not just something that you're working on in a silo for you. But there is impact on your family, the generations, your kids and their kids, and things like that. There's impact on the 51% or 52% of people of color that are going to be born into the world from that point on, from all the organizations that are now learning how to be more diverse, how to talk to people of color and talk to Black folks, like the impact is so compounding that it is, and that's the driver. Like that's what energizing. And that is, I have the shirt back here. One of our guys did a definition that meaningful work. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's impactful and fulfilling. So you have that internal drive, fulfilling for me, but has that external impact as well. And I think you captured that perfectly. So as we wrap up here right now, how can folks check out what you guys are doing? Is it going to your website? Is it Instagram? You guys won some awards in the last year or so. Like, how can folks check out cool things?
The awards thing is crazy. Actually, I didn't even realize we won awards, man. We won shorties and tellies and webbies. And
yes, man.
I was like, where did all these awards come from? But it's weird because, and just kind of give you a little insight of how I think, I always have in the back of my mind, whenever we hear a no for something, I'm like, all right. Okay.
Bet. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. And it's like, and my conversation changes when I get awards. My conversation always changes. And like, it goes back to my team also. Yeah. Like, yo, this is why I push y'all.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is why all y'all shut up. Everybody just shut up. This is why I do this.
It's like, if you could, like, you have that picture of like them like putting your finger to their, you just put the trophy to their mouth, like.
but that's real. But that's part A, and then part B is like with companies and brands. I'm like, yo, man, this is how you should do it. See this trophy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is that affirmation. So that's what's up, man. So anything big, anything.
You can reach me on Martin Ekechwuku, my first name, last name on Instagram. At What Works, WHTWRKS is the agency. At A-Frame Brands is the holding company for all the products that we're creating for those that need products the most. Mostly going to be people of color and women. Yeah, and that's who it is.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Martin, we appreciate you, man. We know you got a lot of stuff going on. Best luck on your new life in New York City. Do you guys have a car? Do you even need a car in New York?
I do have a car. I don't know how long I will keep this car. It's been parked the last like 2 weeks. I've been like got into it.
Yeah, it's the life that you live in there. So guys, we are really appreciative. If you caught us on the show and you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts on how we can make the late afternoon show better, please let us know. You can email me at tim@mrmeaningfulwork.com on all my social channels. Please let us know. If there's anything that resonated with you on this episode with Martin, please let us know. We had Wayne that joined us from Atlanta. We got Dr. Olari, my dad, that joined us. What's up, Pops? He's greeting you, sir. Yeah, he's greeting you, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
So for folks, so let us know your thoughts. Next week, we actually have a double header. We got 2 shows in 1 week next week. So tune in for that. But we are going to play our outro music. Martin, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week on the Late Afternoon Show. Hey.